welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today you guys, I'm coming at you with another scary video. So again, loves, apologies in advance if my voice is a little bit quiet. Today's video might feel like it's still staying over. This video was around like Christmas time, so if I film a video while this video, my voice is going to be really quiet because I have to get pretty early for work because of the time difference. But yeah, just apologies in advance. But today, you guys, we're going to be diving into another ritual known as Channel Infinity. So the point of this game or ritual is pretty much it will give you the answer to the greatest question you have in life, or give you the meaning of life if you're able to access Channel Infinity. However, to get to Channel Infinity, there are so many steps and problems that will meet with you along the way. So one thing that I found really dangerous about this ritual is that there are 3 things that can happen once you access Channel Infinity. And one of them could be you being transported to a different realm. And your faith basically depends on the color of the moon in that other realm. So we're going to go through the ritual, we're going to talk about the rules, talk about how to play, even though you should not play, and then we're going to get into my opinion. And like I say with all my scary videos, if you guys don't like this stuff or aren't okay with it, feel free to click off. But now let's get into Channel Infinity. Okay. Channel Infinity. There is a legend circulating around the television industry. It's about Channel Infinity. Channel Infinity is hard to get to, and reports vary to what it actually is. I'll tell you how to get there, and then what to do. Acquire a television, preferably one analog for the best experience, and the older, the better. Acquire a remote control. It does not have to go with the television you're using. Turn on the TV and set it to a channel that is static or just a plain blank screen. If you're using a digital TV, basically any channel that you do not receive. Leave the room for about 3 hours. If you have a significant other in the house, have them with you. It's also best to call over a few friends. During those 3 hours, you should acquire a few items. I will list them in order from the most important to the least. None of these are mandatory, but they help. You will want an item that you hold dear, 2 handheld mirrors, a firearm or other weapon, a favorite book, a mobile communication device, a key, a sledgehammer, or a pickaxe. After roughly 3 hours have passed, re-enter the room. Have everyone else wait outside the door. Close the door. Stare at the static or blank screen or whatever you set the TV to until you feel disoriented or freaked out. Call the others into the room. Give the item that you hold dear to the person that you care about the most in the room, then send them back out. If you do not grab an item that you hold dear, hug the person and whisper a secret in their ear. Send them back out and command them to not come back in no matter what until you open the door for them again. Note, this will be harder for them if there are more of them, but it will be safer for you if there are more people. Trust me. Hold the mirror so that one is reflecting the television screen into the other, and the second is reflecting you, so it looks as if the television is behind you. Stay like that until a question appears on the screen. If you do not grab the mirrors, then sit in a chair facing away from the TV until you hear a noise. Grab the remote. There will be a question on the screen. Press channel up to answer yes, channel down to answer no. There will be anywhere from 3 to 26 questions, if reports are to be trusted. The questions will be anywhere from trivial to deep, personal questions. Answer truthfully or you will not succeed in reaching Channel Infinity. After the questions, 1 of 3 things will happen. 1. Your favorite show of all time will come on, but in the episode, all of the characters will be heart-wrenchingly unalived. 2. You will see a picture of your least favorite person or thing ever. This is where you use the firearm or other weapon. Break the TV screen with the weapon. It will then fix itself. Note, this is obviously the easiest of the 3 things. 3. A strange shimmering vortex will surround you and you'll be pulled into an alternate dimension. If you find yourself here, here's what to do. You will find yourself in a twisted replica of your house. You will need to go to your room where you will find the 4 items listed that you will need for this part. Take them, exit your house. Outside will be a more evil-looking version of our world, with red sky, a gray sun, dark orange plants, and an ever-present thin mist. You must go to the nearest public building, example, school, mall, gas station, etc. The key use the key on the door and enter. The key will fit the lock. If you do not get a key, climb in through a window. Upon entering, find a room with only one entrance. Sit down and begin reading the book. If you do not get a book, just sit down and be bored or scared. You'll hear footsteps outside the door sometime within the next hour. Don't look up from the book. After you can no longer hear the footsteps, count to 250 out loud. Every 10 numbers you will hear another footstep closer and closer to the door. Upon reaching 250, you'll hear a knock on the door. If there are 3 knocks, open the door. If there are 4, say, "I forbid you," twice, and then open the door. You will see a stone statue of someone you love deeply outside the door. It could be a family member, best friend, romantic partner, or even a fictional character. Smash its head to pieces with a sledgehammer or pickaxe. If it's a female, also destroy the left hand. If you do not get a hammer or a pickaxe, push the statue over. Exit the building from the entrance you came in through. It will be night. Look at the moon. It will be either pink or green and either full or half. If it is pink and half, pull out the phone and call the third most recent contact, pink and full. Pull out the phone and dial a random number. Before they pick up, bite through your tongue. If you did not get the device, pretend to do the things above. Green and half. Take off all your clothing and sprint back to your house. Don't look behind you, no matter what. Green and full. To put it bluntly, you're screwed. You'll be unalived within half an hour. If it is one of the first 3, you will wake up in front of the television and you can continue the ritual. After this, you will have reached channel infinity. What you do now is up to you. If you go to the guide function, you will see shows listed such as The Meaning of Life or How to Acquire True Love. Choose one. Note: the more people you have outside the door with you determines what the shows are. Sorry. The more people, the better chance you have of seeing shows with more life-changing results. Or, if you keep watching the static without going to guide or breaking eye contact with the television, you will see a series of images that will reveal the answer to your greatest question. At this point, there are just too many options to write down here. Just do what you feel like you must, and something will happen. The overwhelming majority of things will be good, but some will be bad. You may leave the room at any point. However, there are 2 catches. You may never speak of what you learned after accessing Channel Infinity, and you may only reach Channel Infinity 4 times in your life. And that is the end of the rules and the ritual. Okay. Wow. Okay, I find Channel Infinity to be so dangerous. I know I say that about a lot of games and rituals I talk about on my channel, but I mean, if the first 2 things happen, I guess it's not that bad. But if you get transported to that alternate dimension, I feel like there's a very high chance of just anything and everything going wrong. Like the fact that you're in a twisted version of our reality, and depending on the moon, if it's pink and green or half and full, depends on what you need to do. And also, if it's green and full, then, like he said, you're pretty much screwed. Now, again, you guys know that when it comes to deep paranormal stuff, I always believe in them. And that's just because, like, I'm very into the paranormal. So, I mean, I don't really know if you will be unalived. But I guess with that, for me, it's like a 50-50% chance. Like, 50% chance it could happen, or 50% it cannot. But also, it's just, like, scary. Like, imagine just being in front of a screen, and all of a sudden you just find yourself in a sort of evil, twisted looking version of your house, and then when you go outside, there's like a mist and the sun is just gray and like the sky is not blue. Like, it's just like really terrifying. Also, this ritual does have a prize. Pretty much you either get your greatest question in life answered, or you get to find out the meaning of life. But I always say with stuff like this, at what cost? Like, at what cost do you have to go through just to get either one of those 2 things? Like, you're either going to get your greatest question in life answered, or you're going to get to know the meaning of life. And those, like, both are very big prizes, but also you have to answer anywhere from 3 to 26 questions, and you also need to answer them truthfully, which, like we said, when it comes to answering questions truthfully. It's a lot harder when you're playing with something you don't know. Also, we don't really know if there's any kind of demon, spirit, entity, or ghost that you're dealing with in this game. I think the only time you might deal with something like that is if you get transported to the other world and you hear the knocks and hear the footsteps. Then maybe you could be like dealing with something demonic or evil or something like that. Also, the fact that you're going to see a statue of a person that you love, and it can also be a fictional character, it doesn't have to be like a real life person. But if you see that, you need to immediately destroy the statue. If it's a female, you need to also destroy the left hand. Honestly, I just feel this game is way too dangerous to play and way too risky. Like, you don't know what outcome is going to happen. You don't know which one of the three things is going to happen. Also, when it comes to the moons, you don't know which moon you're going to encounter. So I feel it's just way too risky to play. Like, you don't know the outcome, and like with most of the games that we talked about, this is entirely up to chance with the moon. Like, it's entirely up to chance, first of all, if you get transported to our dimension, and secondly, depending on what moon you get. Like, either you get the green in the full, the green in the half, the pink in the full, the pink in the half. Like, it's just like, obviously the first 3 moons are the safest because, you know, nothing will really happen, but the green and the full moon says that you will be unalived within the next half hour. So it's really, really risky to play. Also, like I said, like, are you really willing to go that far to get either your greatest question in life answered or the meaning of life thrown at you? Like, it's a really, I'd say, simple game to play if you are lucky and I'd say don't end up in the other dimension. Also, the fact is just like, what do you do if you do like receive the full green moon? Like, do you get transported back home, or will you just stay in that dimension and end up being unloved in that dimension? Like, it's really, really hard to see what happens because I also couldn't find anything on what exactly happens to you, like, until like, you know, half an hour comes. Like, I never found an explanation to what exactly happens, but I just feel this game is really too risky to play. Like, I feel it's too dangerous to put yourself through something like that and just assume that, oh, I'm going to be able to do it. Like, Channel Infinity seems like it can give you a lot of, I'd say, useful information, but again, it can also be your worst nightmare. Also, the fact that it says you can't tell anybody what you saw in Channel Infinity. Like, why? Like, what is so, like, you know, I'd say secretive or scary that you see in Channel Infinity that you must never speak of it to anybody else? Also, I never found out why you can only access Channel Infinity 4 times in your life. If you guys do find out, comment down below. But it's also the fact that, like I said, you can't tell anybody. So what do you see in Channel Infinity that you must never speak of it to anybody? Like, you obviously see something if you make it back, but what do you see? Like, it never tells us what you see. Like, it says either the meaning of life or you're going to get your greatest question in life answered. But then if that's the case, why can't you tell anybody what you saw when accessing it? But yeah, this game just seems really dangerous to play. And one of the games where you really need to think carefully, because again, you have no control over the outcome with this game. It's one of 3 things can happen, and just depending on your luck again. Like, I know I say this with a lot of games, and we also talked about this with Charlotte's Web. We said you have no control over the outcome, and the Dead Poet game was also another one where we said you have no control over the outcome. So with a paranormal game, like, I feel the most reason people play paranormal games is if they know the outcome and know what's going to happen to them when they, like, play it. But with this game, you have no way to predict which one of the 3 things is going to happen to you. And if you get the full green moon, then I'm sorry. Honestly, like I told you, with that, it's a 50% chance for me if you're actually going to be unalived or not. Again, that's just me. And I do believe in the paranormal, but when it comes to stuff saying it's going to, like, I'd say, unalive you and you're not really dealing with anything demonic, I find that a bit, I'd say, 50-50 for me. Like, a lot of paranormal games you can end up getting unalived, but that's because you're playing with something demonic. I feel in this game, you're not playing with a spirit or a demon or a ghost. Like, you don't have an entity after you in this game. I think the entity that, like, only comes, it's just, like, doesn't really hurt you would be the one that knocks on the door. And like I said, if it knocks 4 times, all you have to say is, I forbid you, and you should be fine. So I don't think the entity will really harm you unless you open the door without saying those words twice, and unless you open the door without hearing the knocks. But again, I feel the only time you're going to actually see an entity is if you enter the other dimension. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. I just found this game really interesting, and also the fact that, like, it's really dangerous. Like, I feel this game is just not a game that should be taken lightly. And I know I say that about a lot of games. I'm pretty sure I said that about, like, a ton of games on my channel before, but this one really does take first place. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Also, I want to ask you guys, if you would like me to do a Q&A answering your guys' questions, comment down below and I will do it, but just let me know. If you guys want me to do a Q&A where I answer your guys' questions, comment down below and I will do it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Comment down below also and let me know your guys' opinion. I'd love to know your opinion on the game, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye! Love you!